Which reminds me, in the steam bath one day I found Solly, a 70-year-old taxi driver, staring at his private member and moaning.
We were born together. We grew up together. We went courting together. We got married together. We had children together. Why? Oh, why did you have to die before me?
There's a bloke I know, in what's left of Fleet Street, who plans to sink his redundancy money in an establishment to be called the This Time I Really Mean It Hotel. Especially designed for people who've just walked out on or been walked out on by their spouses. You could check in at any hour of the night without luggage, and there'd be a razor, toothbrush, change of clothes on every pillow, along with the after-dinner Valium, wrapped in tin foil. And there'd be a 24-hour bar known as the Gone Too Far Bar. So you could drink yourself silly. And every night they'd have an unhappy hour where the drinks would cost double and you could tell all your troubles to the bar. I wish you'd get on with it. I'd book a permanent suite. What was that trick Keith Waterhouse used to do with a biscuit tin lid? And what else? Pint glass of water, a matchbox, his right shoe, and a raw egg. And what you do is, you set the biscuit tin lid, lip side up, squarely over the pint glass, so. Then, you make a funnel of the matchbox sleeve, and you place it on top of the lid, bang, in the centre. Then, you put the raw egg on the matchbox funnel. And what you do then is, you get the biscuit in such an almighty thwack with the heel of the shoe that it flies off and the egg plops into the glass. Or not, as the case may be. I've never seen the trick done unsuccessfully, but Keith tells me that when it doesn't work, it's remarkable how great an area one little egg can serve. He was in a hotel in Birmingham for some reason, and doing the egg trick in the residence lounge for some reason. And there was this young 18-year-old snooker champion in the bar, very high on the success he'd just had. So of course he wanted to do the egg trick, and he got Keith to show him how it was done. Then he tried it for himself, and the egg caused £2,000 worth of damage to the decor. And just before he was thrown out of the hotel, he asked Keith where he'd gone wrong. And Keith said,
I forgot to say, you need to be at least 50 years old and pissed out of your brain.
Well, I'm 50 years old, and that's not tonic water I've been drinking all night. You need a good, unsteady hand, Keith says. Here we go. 1, 2. I wish I hadn't done that. I hate pop jokes. Next thing you know, I'll be telling Irish jokes. If I'd stayed in the French pub last night, none of this would have happened. But I was driven out of the French pub, wasn't I, by a man who walked up to me and said,
"Do you know Peter the Pole?" He used to work in the dirty bookshop in St Anne's Court. Oh, you know, the one whose father was an ear, nose and throat surgeon in Warsaw. Well, anyway, he's moved moved to Hounslow.
There's no answer to that. Not only do I not know Peter the Pole, I've never even heard of him, nor care greatly how his father scrapes a living, I also have very little time for a man who moves to Hounslow. I wouldn't trust him an inch. So, I repaired to the Coach and Horses to ponder the meaning of life, a man's incredible ascent from the discovery of fire and the invention of the wheel to the ability to move to Hounslow, only to find myself confronted by Norman's unfortunate mother, who whispered in my ear.
But you didn't know my grandfather had an umbrella shop in Gower Street.
Oddly enough, the possibility of Norman's mother's grandfather having had an umbrella shop in Gower Street had never crossed my seething brain, although God knows I'm a broad-minded man. Well, after a short but emotional discussion on the subject of the 1890 umbrella boom in Gower Street, I felt in need of a strictly medicinal drink, and in the hour or so it took to get served, it suddenly clicked. I was in the middle of some dreadful plot. These mad utterances were codes or ciphers, like the 39 steps or the 5 orange pips or the dancing men. Obviously, I was to meet a man with a Polish accent in Hounslow who would give me a message to deliver to an ear, nose and throat specialist in an umbrella shop in Gower. There's always suicide, of course. So many of us around here have contemplated it at one time or another. That Dave in the French pub once had the idea that we could all hire a coach and drive it over Beachy Head. 52 seats only, booked now to avoid disappointment. Bugger's here at last. Come on, Goddo. And amend what I said, Norman. It's all gonna change starting to fucking day. It's new leaf time. From now on, it'll be gin instead of vodka. Catch stand full strength instead of senior service, and the French pub instead of the Coach and Horses. And life does go on, whatever proof there may be to the contrary. Last week, I had an erection. I was so amazed I took its photograph. Life after death. What more do you want? Come on, Norman.